Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. I am back from Origins 2023 and I thought I would do another wrap up here for everyone to see, which will include of course some loot that I brought back and a slideshow of some of the things that were going on wargaming wise at the convention. Before we dive into the loot, just a few comments about Origins 2023. This year, registration for me was a disaster again. So I arrived on Wednesday and there apparently was a glitch around 12 o'clock, high noon. Something went wrong with the registration computers. I don't know, that's what I was told. I walked in, I think it was around 12:30 p.m. and the line was unbelievable. It was wrapped around, down a long hallway and then back around again, almost back to registration. And it took me an hour and a half to get a badge this time. Now, I don't know, I probably could have just walked away and returned in probably 3, 4, 5 hours. And the line may not have been as long, I don't know, but I was trying to get into the gaming hall there to help Armchair Dragoons set up their tables and stuff. So I decided to stand in that line for an hour and a half, did get my badge, but it was not pleasant. As far as Origins itself, attendance was way up. In fact, they've just published the numbers and the attendance has increased significantly from last year. And the Armchair Dragoons booth was as crowded as I have ever seen it. It was, in fact, very, very popular area. And Armchair Dragoons, we were already talking about increasing that space, probably 50% or more for next year. So if you want to get involved in some wargaming, Origins is slowly becoming the place to do that again, I hope. So that is a positive thing to see. The vendor hall wasn't quite as exciting as it has been in the past, and honestly, I think this is probably the least amount of money I've ever spent at an Origins. That's probably a good thing for my wallet, maybe not a good thing for some of the vendors that were there, but let's go ahead and see some of those things I bought. Now, Enterprise Games was there again, and I bought Votes for Women from them, and I bought this on Thursday. Enterprise had a number of these for sale on Thursday, and I knew they would sell out fast, and they did. They sold all of these, and there were none to find. This was a very popular game going on at the Armchair Dragoons location. A lot of interest in Votes for Women, and I'm excited to try this one, and I cannot wait to do that. And I did get to meet Tori Brown, the designer, very nice person. Got her to sign this for me, so I was excited about that, and I am really looking forward to giving this one a try. Like I said, a lot of attention, and it looks like a very good game, and waiting to see what Tori brings next. All right, what else did I get? Littoral Commander. Now, this is from the Dietz Foundation. I was on the fence of whether or not I wanted to buy this one or not, and when I saw it at Origins, I decided, yeah, I've got to pick it up. And again, I think they sold just about all the copies of this by the time I got over to get my copy, so I am also interested to try this one. It's getting very positive reviews and it looks like a very fun game, so hopefully we'll see this one on the channel soon. And next up, again from Enterprise Games, Undaunted. Now, David Thompson was with us in the Armchair Dragoons area and he was running Undaunted, a couple of Undaunted games. He did ran several sessions, so did get to talk with David a little bit, so that was always interesting and fun to do. So Undaunted, hopefully we'll get that up onto the channel at some point. And then Enterprise usually has a bargain table where you can find games for as little as $20, which is what I paid for Way Out West. Not a war game. It is as I understand this, I knew nothing about this. I just saw it and I love Westerns and had to get this, especially at $20. But I did a little bit of research on this, and it looks like this might be one of the first area placement type games, but I don't know if we'll see this on the channel. If there's a request for this to be on the channel, let me know, and I'll see if I can get to it, but looking forward to giving this one a try as well. That's it as far as board games go that I bought. I did buy role-playing games-wise. This is Rune, and of course the Rune Realm Atlas. Now what this is basically it's like a solitaire hex crawl, and you will walk through and I'll flip to the back here for a second. You will be exploring a world that has locations on it, and it's kind of choose your own adventure a little bit, but not, because you will be fighting battles, tactical battles, and making decisions. So looking forward to giving this one a try. And what else did I get? So I did run across Dragon Shield. The Dragon Shield people had a booth. And if you've watched the channel, you know that this is my favorite card sleeve that I used to sleeve the standard size cards. This is the Dragon Shield clear matte card. And again, I'm at Origins. They're on sale. There's no shipping charges because I'm there to pick them up in person. So I had to get some more of those, and I did. Also picked up a couple of Black Oak Workshop dice. These were donated to the Armchair Dragoons and presented to GMs there. So didn't pay for these at all, although I do own quite a number of Black Oak Workshop dice now. But these are pretty cool. This one's a glow-in-the-dark. I guess it's a Cthulhu dice. It looks like I see tentacles, so I'm going to say that's what that is. And then this is just swords, which is kind of neat. So it's 1 through 6 swords. So that's kind of cool for role-playing purposes. And then finally, I picked up the Pendragon starter set. And I've heard many things about Pendragon, the role-playing game in the past. Role-playing in the King Arthur time period with, I'm assuming there's magic and monsters in here as well. So looking forward to cracking into this. This is a pretty heavy box, so there should be some good stuff in there. So that was basically it as far as what did I buy at Origins this year. Like I said, I didn't spend nearly as much money this year as I have in the past. The vendor hall, there was just not as much in there that appealed to me anyway. And so now what I want to do is kind of just show you a few slides of some of the things that were going on in the Armchair Dragoons booth. So let's jump over to that, take a look. All right, now I've got a few slides of some of the games that were on the tables in the Armchair Dragoons booth. And I will say again, the Armchair Dragoons booth was packed this year, which is always good to see. Interest in war games going up at Origin, so that's very positive. So what we're looking at here is the Third World War from Compass Games, and this was a very popular game. People stopped to take a look at what was going on here. It was 3 of the 4 scenarios set up. It's a little misleading looking at this photo, but there were 2 tables pushed together to get this entire game on it. And those counter trays you're looking at there are Gary from Ardwolf's Lair printed those up on his 3D printer, and those are really impressive. In fact, they I'm thinking about getting a 3D printer myself now, just based on those things. They make organizing and storing this game a lot easier. And I actually did order this game, Third World War. Miniature Market had a sell on this, and I couldn't refuse the price, so I do have this now. Not sure I'll get a playthrough in anytime soon, but maybe we'll see an unboxing if nothing else. And this is the CPX setup here. So this is Southern Storm is the computer software they're using to run this. And basically you have a team of people that are playing against an AI Soviet player. And the team makes their decisions. You have an intelligence officer, you have a commander, you have air support, and just various things. Everybody's trying to work together and deal with what happens on the battlefield. And it is a turn-based thing, so you'll make your decisions, and then the turn gets carried out, and you see what happens. Very fun game. I recommend you try this at some point. It is worth your time for sure. This is Plains Indian Wars. This is GMT game, and I ran this, and it actually got very positive reviews. It's a very fun game. You, of course, are trying to build the Transcontinental Railroad across the West, trying to get settlers across, and of course, the Indian player is trying to stop you. So, very fun game and positive feedback. This is the command post exercise in session here. And again, these photos are in no particular order. I just stuck them all in here, and we're just taking them a look as they come along. This is Space Empires 4X. I ran 2 sessions of this, and both of these sessions sold out almost immediately. So I ran this, and again, very positive reviews from the players. I think I may have to run some more sessions of this at some more upcoming conventions. It's a very fun game, and the last expansion is due out anytime now, I guess, and I would really like to run a big version of this at some point. The expansion adds 2 more empires, so you'll have a total of 6 empires possible, and maybe I can get a weekend-long game going of this at a convention, hopefully maybe at Origins next year. I'm thinking about setting up a game like they did with Third World War, but it's something, a game I can set up and just run all weekend, in addition to the other games I'm running. So look for some news on that at some point in the future. Another shot of the Third World War. Here you get a better sense of scope. I mean, you can see the 2 tables that are running top to bottom. They're pushed together, and it was quite a display. They had a really good time. I don't think they finished the game. I think they got to turn 5, but you're teaching rules. You have new players, and I'm surprised they actually got 5 turns in, honestly. Another shot of Third World War. And this is 3D Panzer Blitz. This is the Pico armor. This also got a lot of attention, and it is also a pretty good sized game there. You can tell there's also two tables pushed together, and it's hard to see there, but there are miniature tanks on the battlefield there. And this is yours truly, and in the back there is that is Tim and Gary. Gary from Ardwolf's Lair, of course. We are play testing perhaps an upcoming game from Catastrophe Games. There, Tim is the with Catastrophe Games, and this one was called True Command, I believe. And I had a really good time with this one. This one really made you think about what to do with your units. And there was also some interesting components about random events or random chits that you would pull that would give you different options, and you had different plans that you could execute. And a really fun game. Looking forward to this one coming out. It'd be tough to solo this one, but who knows? Maybe we'll take a look at that when it does eventually release. Another shot of that. That's me again looking on there as Gary makes his decisions with the help from Tim. This was votes for women either being set up or taken down. I'm not sure which. Again, this pulled in a lot of traffic to the Armchair Dragoons booth, and very positive attention. Tori Brown, the designer, was there, and I'm looking forward to playing this as well. Like I said, I did buy this on Thursday because I knew they were going to sell out, and glad I got a copy when I did. This is Salerno 43, so there were 2 sessions of this running on the table, as you can see there. Another popular game. And people had a good time playing this one. And this is Sadar City, and this is also, I think, another playtest in progress. So that's what you're looking at here. Another popular game, and looks like people had a good time playing that. I did not get a chance to try this one. I wished I had. It looks like a lot of fun. And this is Liberty or Death, the coin game, and there were, I want to say there were 4 sessions of this run, and I was told that the French won every single time, so that was kind of interesting. I do own this one. I was hoping to get into a session of this, but they were all full, so I was not able, between what I was running and the fact that this was full, I didn't have time to sit down and play it. And I do have this, and I do want to get this to the table at some point soon. Another shot of the command post exercise, and it looks like here it's just being set up, which you get a feel. There are 2 displays there, as you can see, and a huge paper map that you are planning, and then some smaller maps that you can make notes on there as you're planning your attacks against the Russians as they come in. This is the raffle prizes that Armchair Dragoons gives away on Sunday. So if you play in the events, you walk up and play in one of the events with your Armchair Dragoons, you're given a ticket, and that ticket you can put in a box that has the name of a game that you want to win on it. So you can actually try to win a game that you would like to have. And I have to say that in this case, there were a lot of entries for the Undaunted stuff, in particular Undaunted Stalingrad and Battle for Britain. But very, very good stack of prizes this year. And you can see that there's a lot of GMT games in there as well. And very nice prizes. So if you ever get to Origins, you pretty good chance of winning a brand new game. This is a final shot. There's yours truly from My Own Worst Enemy on the left, and on the right, that's Brant from the Armchair Dragoons. And that was pretty much the final day, and we had given out all the prizes, and we're getting ready to head home. We're probably both very exhausted there, and that's why we look stunned. All right, so that's it. Just wanted to do a quick wrap-up of Origins. 2023 had a really good time, as I always have a really good time at Origins. I did get to see a lot of designers there. I saw Tori Brown, I mentioned there, Jason Matthews, the designer of Twilight Struggle. I saw Herman Luttman, nice guy, super nice guy. And Tim was there from Catastrophe Games, and then Kevin Bertram from Fort Circle Games. Just like I said, ton of designers. Origins is a great time. So if you haven't been, I really recommend that you go, and you'll have a great time. And also, anywhere you look for, anywhere that Armchair Dragoons are going to show up, I think you're almost guaranteed to have a good time. Great group of guys. I appreciate Brant for once again organizing this thing and putting it on. It's a great show, and that's it. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll be back at some point with more playthroughs. I still have Triumph and Tragedy that I've got to get through. And as you saw, I've got just a slew of new games to add on top of the other slew of new games I already have. In fact, while I was at Origins, I did have a Most Fearful Sacrifice came in And Third World War came in, as I mentioned, and there was one more. It was Mr. President. That was it. Mr. President arrived. I pre-ordered that, kickstarted that thing back 7, 8 years ago, whenever it went on for $55. So that was a bargain for me. And I'm really looking forward to getting that to the table. All right, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you back here next time.